On the evening of January the 2nd, 1894, the Abbe Fricot, rector of the parish of Intramuros near Laval, sat down to make up his accounts in the company of his curate, the Abbe Albert Brunner. What passed between the two priests is not known for certain, but it was clearly of some importance. At 6:30, a choir practice was cancelled without notice, the choir having already turned up at the rectory. Half an hour later on being told that supper was ready, Brunner said that Fricot had gone out. He then began playing the organ before going to have supper on his own. Though he appeared shaken at this point, it was also noticed that he had a good appetite. Later, when Fricot had still not appeared, a search of the premises was started, with neighbours being called in to help. The search went on all night to no avail. In the morning, Brunner suggested that Fricot might have committed suicide and led his neighbour, a man Conchel, to a well in the garden. There, under 30 feet of water and concealed by logs, lay the body of a missing rector. His head had been battered with a heavy instrument. There were bloodstains at the edge of the well. Brunner was immediately suspected of the murder. His hand had been cut, but he claimed that this happened as he looked into the well at 3 o'clock in the morning, before leading Shell to it. But there were also bloodstains on the keys of the organ, which Brunner had played the previous evening. In his desk were found 1,300 francs, which he appeared to have stolen from the rector's strongbox. A nun who visited the rectory had been told by Brunner that Fricot had committed suicide, a mortal sin, and that his death had been made to look like murder in order to avoid a scandal. Brunner's character could hardly have helped to allay suspicion. A man of peasant origin, he was found to be a liar, a thief, and a frequenter of brothels, at one of which he had contracted gonorrhea. He had been a curate in Astel, in the same province, for some years, and during that time had used a bequest of 16,000 francs, intended for charity, for his own purposes. It was also while he was there that the rectory was burgled 4 times. He had taken up his post in Emtres at the age of 31 in November 1892, his arrival being quickly followed by the theft of 500 francs from his strongbox. It is likely that Fricot knew Brunner to be the thief. Neighbours claimed that on the night of the rector's death they heard groans coming from the rectory garden. It was supposed that Fricot, in making up his accounts, had decided that something had to be done about his curate's criminal activities, and that Brunner had killed him after hearing what Fricot had to say on the matter. Brunner was brought to trial on the 9th of July. His sordid past was exposed, with prostitutes telling the court that he was a regular customer, and a brothel keeper stating that he was not the only priest to turn up in the premises wearing his cassock. He was found guilty and sentenced to death, his execution on 29th of August 1894 being attended by 16,000 people. He died with dignity, declaring his innocence to the last.